questions as time permits. First of all, Coach Johnson, congratulations on a great season. Sooners are 42-22, winners of the Gainesville Regional and the Blacksburg Super Regional. Skip is in his 5th year at OU and his 5th year in his career after a long time as assistant coach.
Yeah.
Congratulations. We're going to start with a statement from you, and then we'll have questions for the student athletes.
Well, welcome, and it's a beautiful day that the Lord hath made, and we shall rejoice in it. I mean, it's a beautiful outside, get to practice. The biggest thing to see what the stadium looks like. It looks really good. It's a lot like a big league stadium that we got to play in before. Looking for the opportunity, come to Omaha and do what we do, and having fun doing it, and really proud of our kids. We're just a team full of Davids. So basically about all I got to say.
Okay, questions. If you have a question, raise your hand and we'll get a mic to you. Back here in the back, Haley.
Mark Garland, CWS 247. Peyton and Tanner, you guys have been called a small ball team by the media. You guys both have some pop. Do you guys embrace the small ball moniker, or are you guys kind of like a little bit angry about that?
I personally don't mind it. It's just creating chaos. That's what we do. So we've embraced it pretty well, and we're going to keep running with it.
I think it's just a part of our identity. You know, it's part of who we are as a team. I think that's been a big key to our success all year. And if we weren't bought in, then I don't know if we'd still be in the lineup.
Okay, here in the back.
Hey guys, John Hoover, All Sooners. Everybody says we're taking it one game at a time, one pitch at a time, so on and so forth. Why do you think that has worked so well for you? What is it that has allowed you guys to really embrace that and take it on? And are there some examples of what you're talking about when you say one pitch at a time, one inning at a time? And then, please, same question for Skip.
I think personally, and I think I can speak for the whole team, is it just really keeps us in the moment. You know, in big situations, you know, when Peyton hits a grand slam, you know, I think he really calms himself down and is just ready for that one moment. You know, and I think it's really just trickled down the whole team, and it's just been really good for us. And it, you know, we played in a lot of hostile environments, and you know, this one's going to be the same. And I think that's why we've thrived in those situations.
Well said.
Sorry. Yep. Well, one pitch at a time is really what the game's played like. I mean, you can only control your thoughts, your one thought on one pitch. You don't want to look in the future. You don't want to look in the past. It's easier said than done. We can sit up here and talk about trying to get a team to play one pitch at a time, one inning at a time. For an example, I mean, Peyton's 1-2 at the regional. We're down 3-1, and one pitch he squared up and hit it in the bullpen. I mean, it's really just about one pitch. This game's hard enough to play. It's an imperfect game. It's and I was blessed to learn that. I think going to the University of Texas as from Navarro Junior College, and really thought I knew what I was doing. I really didn't know what I was doing as a baseball coach, and being around Coach Garrido and Coach Harmon in that, and listening to what they talk about one pitch at a time, I learned a lot how to teach guys in that environment. It's really just about one pitch, and control yourself, and it's 100% of what you got to get to the next pitch on the mound. If you're trying to get to the next pitch, all of a sudden you look up, you're at 100 pitches. And so really, that's really it's about. You're trying to teach baseball as much as you can as a head coach, and that's really what a coach does, is he's trying to teach those guys how to play in the game that's really a tough game to play, because these guys deal in failure a lot, and you're trying to build confidence as you're doing it with one pitch, because one pitch, it can help a guy's lifetime. It could hurt a guy's lifetime if they take it that way. And so it's how you respond to the adversity that's thrown in front of you, and it's really just about one pitch.
You have a question back here? Okay.
Eddie Radosevich, SoonerScoop.com for Peyton and Tanner. Just as far as embracing the David role, embracing kind of that underdog role, what does that mean throughout the dugout, in the locker room? Is that something that you guys have talked about more and more as this has progressed for you guys?
I think it just really just keeps us all level-headed and keeps us all the same. You know, it makes us feel like not one person is contributing more than the other. I think that's good for a team morale and you know, our success so far.
Yeah, I think it helps us play with a chip on our shoulder, something to prove people wrong. We came in here and we're ranked 8th, first one's out. I think that just rallies the guys. It gets them fired up a little bit.
Okay, back here.
Joe Nugent, WOWT-TV. For Peyton and Tanner. Peyton first. This experience, I know you guys have been here for less than 24 hours, but certainly you've been around, you've seen some stuff. What has it been like? How much are you cherishing this?
Oh, it's awesome being where your feet are. It's amazing. Been here, 10, 11 years ago watching the games, and now I'm here playing, and it's pretty neat. Couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, this is a dream come true for sure. I was just watching it on TV, you know, as a kid. I've never been here before, so this whole experience has been unbelievable, and I'm excited to play in front of 25,000 people. I think I'm looking more forward to that and that adrenaline rush, and I'm just excited.
Okay, more questions? Oh, yeah. Fine.
Evan Bland, Omaha World Herald. For the players, could you guys just kind of speak to how your team's speed has really gotten you guys going, and how maybe it's even set you apart, especially in college baseball when so many teams are just mashing the ball?
Tanner?
Yeah, I think our aggression is the biggest key for our team. And I tell the younger guys too, I said, you know, the best thing about the aggression that we have is that it really takes the fear out of the game. You know, guys are too worried about, you know, stealing a base or putting a bunt down, that it really takes away all the fear that you have in the game. And I think that's why, like, when we play in these hostile environments, that like we've been able to take it one pitch at a time, because, you know, we're so focused on accomplishing what we're trying to do. And I think that's taken a lot of stress off not only us but the younger guys as well.
Yeah, I think it's a lot about what he said, and then also being smart on the base paths as well. Certain counts you run in, certain counts you don't run in. I think that just gives us a big advantage to steal that base.
Okay, back over here.
Josh Calloway with All Sooners. For Peyton and Tanner, you know, kind of going off what you guys were talking about a minute ago, obviously dream come true to be here and all that stuff, but how do you strike that balance, I guess, of making sure you soak it in, you appreciate that, the fact that you're here, but also, you know, laser focused on the objective, which is obviously to get some wins here and try to win this whole thing?
That's a tough one. That's a pretty tough question. I don't know. We just try to stay in the moment, you know. I think we enjoy this. We embrace this. You know, this is a, you know, once in a lifetime opportunity. I think we all understand that, and but more than anything, we're here to make a statement. We were here to make a statement in the regional. We were here to make a statement in the super, and now we're here in Omaha going to make a statement. So I think everybody knows what our main goal is, but definitely enjoy and embrace all of this.
Yeah, like you said, our main goal is to win it all, but I think everybody's taking it in. They're not taking any moment for granted. It's pretty awesome.
Okay, back here in the middle, Haley.
Lee Benson from KWTV in Oklahoma City. For Peyton and Tanner, you've already kind of touched on it a little bit, but I know a couple of years ago the coaches mentioned that he thought that was an Omaha-type team and didn't get a chance to make that trip, didn't play the season. So is there maybe some more cherishing this opportunity to know that you guys get a chance to do it now? Because it could have been a once-in-a-lifetime thing. Then also, have you heard from any of your other teammates that maybe were involved with that 2020 season, but now are saying, hey, go win it this time?
Yeah, that season just made everybody realize that you can't take any season, any game for granted. You never know when your last one may be. So we're blessed to be here, and all the guys from that team, they've sent us videos, texts all the time. Go get them. So it's awesome.
Okay, right here.
Jacob Timmy and MavRadio.fm. This question is for Coach, and we kind of touched on it already.
We're going to hold off on players, just the players right now.
Okay.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for our student athletes? Okay, back here in the back, John.
John Hoover, All Sooners. Peyton and Tanner, could you comment on your pitching and how it's elevated in the postseason? How those guys, whether it's one, starting, closing, it seems like everybody's had a big role in the way you guys have played in the postseason, and I presume that's the plan moving forward.
Yeah. Skip does a really good job with the pitchers, teaching the same stuff really, taking in one pitch at a time. But, Skip says it too, but I believe in it too, is that our offense is really complemented for our pitching. And, I think when we're rolling offensively, we really give them confidence. And, like Skip says, pitching a lead is a lot better than pitching without one. So I think, they just gain confidence from that. I think our pen, we have a lot of level-headed guys that don't get too high or too low, not too high in emotion, which I think is good. I think that's good. It keeps you locked in and stay in the moment. And, yeah.
Peyton?
Yeah, our starting pitching's been nails pretty much all year. The pen, like you said, we've got guys in there that can get the job done. So, we never really stand out in the field and worry, is this guy going to get him out or is he going to give up a run? We're pretty confident in those guys, especially Trevin Michael. He's been phenomenal this year.
Okay, one last question for players, if anybody has one. If not, Eric, you're the contact, right? Yes. Okay, so Eric, stuff for Oklahoma at SID, contact. Guys, you're excused, and we'll get questions here for Skip here in a second.
Thank y'all.
Y'all can go. Thank you. Thank you, man. Okay, question now for Skip. Yeah.
Okay. Jacob Timmy, MavRadio.fm, kind of touched on it already, but you guys are coming in fourth in the country in stolen bases, and you have 3 guys on your team that are that have at least 20 stolen bases. How much more efficient is it strategy-wise that you have so many speedsters on your team that can contribute to a game in a big way on the base paths?
Yeah, well, I think it puts pressure on the pitcher. And if you can put pressure on the pitcher, it helps him, elevate the ball at times, get behind in counts, get in advantage counts and stuff like that. Coach Overcash and Coach Van Hook and myself sat down during COVID and try to figure out how we need to get more athletic and try to put some pressure on some defenses, and then getting Reggie at, this year, one of the best base running coaches around, really started the offense. And the good thing about what I do is I just go to practice, go down the tunnel, and go straight to the bullpen because I have a hard enough time teaching them how to throw strikes. So I think it's the fun in it, and our whole coaching staff feeds off each other of trying to teach kids how to play baseball, our type of baseball, and our identity, being aggressive.
In the back, Joe.
Skip, John Hoover, All Sooners. I wonder if you could comment on Jake's season as the starting pitcher and Trevin's season as the closer, and how they've kind of changed roles a couple of times here and there, but especially on Cade and how he's elevated his game down the stretch of this season to put you guys where you are.
Yeah, to speak about Jake first, he's kind of like the poster child of what we try to do with the pitchers. Bring them in, put them in a plan of success as they develop in their career. And it shows you what our strength and our training staff's about and all the things that happen on our wagon wheel of culture. You look at what he looked like in high school and how his body changed with the strength and development going from our trainer, teaching him a routine of getting better every day. And then us as coaches trying to teach him to repeat his delivery. And he kind of took his own accountability to get better. and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work for young men. But to his credit, he took over and did those things. It's been great. Trevin, on the other hand, was a transfer from Lamar. We knew what kind of we were getting. He's kind of a hybrid of he can start a game, he can throw 3 innings, he can close a game. He can do things that what you need to do as a closer. You got to be able to field your position. You got to be able to hold runners. You got to be able to throw 2 pitches for strikes, and he's done those things. Cade Horton, on the other hand, was a kid that came out of high school during COVID that was really highly touted as a two-way guy. Was a quarterback too. He unfortunately had surgery after throwing live BP, hurts his arm on his 4th pitch he threw, and had some adversity. I'll never forget, we played Tulsa last year, played Oklahoma State in Tulsa, and he went to the game. He had just got to having Tommy John, and a month later, and he's looking out the window. I knew what was inside the guy's chest by the way he was looking outside the window. He's a determined kid. We got beat that night. He didn't like that too much, and that just fueled his fire to get better. And again, going back to Luke Spitt, our trainer, and Tim Overman, our strength coach, to get him back. I mean, he's going on 15 months, and we had Cade Cavalli. He was a two-way guy as well, and we played him as a freshman. Closed him, struggled a little bit. At the end of his sophomore year, kind of starting him. Going his junior year, was a starter, ended up being a first-round draft pick, and kind of did the same thing. We had to figure out, hey, we're going to have to take Cade off third. We're going to throw this guy in the Sunday row and just kind of let him build up. And he's gotten better every outing. I think he'll continue to get better every outing. And and that just shows you the work that he puts in. I mean, he's the guy that wants to stay late and keep working. He wants to come early and keep working. He's a former quarterback of a good football team at Norman High School, and I think that really shows his leadership skills.
Okay, back here in the back.
Coach Ben Peck with CAGS, just having gone up against Jim Sauchnagel in the Big 12 for a few seasons, just what have you not only made of what he's been able to do in his first season there at A&M, just a quick rebuild, and then I guess as a secondary follow-up, are there any aspects, characteristics of some of those TCU teams that you've been able to see with this A&M group he has?
Yeah, I mean, they're offensively, they're really good. They're going to grind at bats out. That's what his teams did at TCU. He's done a great job. I mean, in this world we live in today with the portal and all the stuff that goes on in college baseball, he's done a really great job of getting a bunch of guys together, get a great coaching staff. The resources that has been provided has really helped him. Not that he wasn't a good coach before. I mean, it just shows you what he's about, and we're looking for the opportunity to go out and perform against him. It's going to be a fun day.
Okay, Travis.
Travis Brown with the Bryan College Station Eagle, Coach. I know your guys called your offense creating chaos. How do you feel like that works for y'all in this matchup against A&M, which pitching staff and defense have been kind of up and down at times?
Well, I mean, you never know in this environment. You think you really know what's going to happen in this environment. I've been here before. You don't really know. You just got to go out and trust what they're going to do. I think the difference in what we're going to do, we're going to be who we are. I mean, that's just what we do. And if it works against A&M, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll wake up tomorrow, God willing, and do what we do.
Okay.
Mitchell Kutcher, CWS 247. Coach, you're a team that doesn't rely on the long ball. How will that help you find success here in Omaha?
Well, I mean, you look at this ballpark; it's built like Yellowstone. I mean, it's a big ballpark. I like big ballparks. At Navarro College, when I was in a junior college, it was a big ballpark, and it's about throwing strikes and playing defense and taking advantage of the other team's mistakes at times. And really, that's what baseball is about. Do you ever win at baseball? I mean, you don't. I mean, it's really making a lot of teams making other mistakes. That's how you end up winning. So it's. Sometimes it really reveals your character. That's what's awesome about baseball.
Okay, once again, Josh.
Yeah, Skip, Josh Galloway with All Sooners. Just along the same lines of what I asked Peyton and Tanner, just about soaking this in, but also staying focused. Obviously, you know as well as anybody how hard it is to get here, but then also how great it is, to play in this event. Just what is your message to the guys in that area in terms of make sure you appreciate this, but also keep focused on what the goal is?
Well, the biggest thing is when you're getting ready for a baseball game, you're on a mission. All the other things can be a distraction. And I was blessed to learn that from one of the best baseball coaches, if not the best college baseball coaches in the country. So what you got to do is ground yourself, and really what Tanner talked about is being in the moment. Understand like, hey, we're fixing to practice. Let's get together, understand what we got to practice for our 50 minutes, which is really unusual to have to wear turfs on a baseball field when you're usually practicing in spikes. So that was really unusual. I wonder if they wear sandals when they go to the big Final Four to do their shoot around. So, I think that you got to be focused on what you got to get focused on in that moment, on that one pitch, and then all the other distraction. Whatever the game happens, if it's a happiness or sadness, whatever happens, you got to flush it and get to the next pitch. We talk about that. We've got to live that as coaches. We got to talk to them about it as much as we can.
Okay.
Edward Oswich, SoonerScoop.com. I don't think you guys have run as much maybe in the postseason, but from a pitching aspect, is that something that has to be in the back of their minds, just as far as what you guys have done with your running this year?
Well, I think the difference, Eddie, is if you go back and look at it, when you get in this type of environment and you get further down, teams are more equipped to stop you. And you've got to figure out a way how to score that run. And so team, with being Florida or Liberty or whoever we've played, Virginia Tech, they're more equipped to stop some of the things that we did. It wasn't necessarily us we don't just go to first base and all of a sudden just go to second base. I mean, there's ways that we have got to look at it. And so I think that's more of the opportunity. We're going to be aggressive. I mean, that's who we are. And if we make the out, then that's going to happen. But we're going to be aggressive.
Travis again.
Hi, Travis Brown with the Bryan College Station Eagle. Coach, sorry if this has already been announced, but have you made a decision on starting pitcher, and what goes into making a decision on a first game pitcher in the College World Series?
Well, my dad passed away, Travis, in 2011. He had a cowboy hat. That's how he paid his bills. They were in a cowboy hat. He just pulled it out. That's what I'll be doing. I'm going to put all their names in a cowboy hat, and I'll pull it out and find out who's going to pitch tomorrow.
Is it a big hat or a small hat?
It was a cowboy hat.
Okay.
Banana leaf.
Any other questions for Skip? Okay, here, back in the back there.
Coach Lee Benson from KWTV in Oklahoma City. In your experiences in this tournament, is there any advantage or disadvantage or nothing at all to playing in the first game of the tournament like you guys will be on Friday?
Not that I know of, Lee. I mean, it's not like that you have magic dust you can throw on top of them, and all of a sudden there's something else. I mean, I'm glad that we're kicking it off. It's good. They can go out and play their game and do what they do and see what happens.
Okay. Any other questions for Skip? Yep. Eddie?
Edward Oswich, Sooner Scoop. Just one more. As far as what kind of advice do you think Augie would tell you going into this? I know that you guys went to an Italian place last night that he'd like to go to, but just as far as, are there any memories that you think about him coming back up here to Omaha?
Yeah, in 2009, I'll never forget it. I mean, the bus was like a courtroom or whatever you say. I mean, it was like really quiet. And I mean, all of a sudden he let the radio play, and I was like, wow, this is where I came from. The song from Kenny Chesney came on. I'll never forget it. And we get ready for the first game. He didn't talk about winning or losing the game. He talked about executing. He talked about getting bunts down. He talked about first pitch strikes. He talked about playing good catch. And we went on a walk-off walk. I mean, how does that happen, you know? And I thought to myself, I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. But they never talked about winning and losing, because what happens in this game, you talk about winning and losing, kids start fearing that, you know, instead of just playing the game. Because like I said earlier, do you ever really win at baseball? I mean, you don't. I mean, you just got to keep playing the game, and it's an incredible venue, and I think that's what coach embraced. I thought when you got down to the College World Series, it was totally different for him. And being around him for the 10 years I was blessed to be around him and Coach Harmon, it was just like that. It was just about executing your game plan. And I've heard Venables talk about that. I heard Lincoln Riley talk about that. I've heard Barry Switzer talk about that. And I mean, all the good coaches, Gene Stevenson's here, I've heard those guys talk about all those things. And you learn from all those guys. I mean, that's what you do as a head coach. And I'm really blessed to be under those guys and learn from them.
Okay, time for one more question. If not, Skip, thank you. And we will see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Bill.
Thank you. I asked the guys if